Hello, everyone. I'm ZHAO Chuang. Today, let's draw the hind limbs of Sinraptor. When drawing the hind limbs of Sinraptor, we should pay attention to the relative sizes of its thighs, shanks, and feet. We can also imagine the action details that might occur when it moved. For example, its legs were S-shaped when extending forward, and the S shape was straightened when the legs were extending backward. Now let's draw the hind limbs of Sinraptor. Let's first draw its thigh. Before drawing, let's determine the position of its pelvis. Its pelvis consisted of the ilium, the pubis, and the ischium on each side of the sacral vertebrae. First, let's draw the root of its thigh, which is made up of the ilium. This is the shape of its ilium, wide in the upper part, and narrow in the lower part, therefore, the overall of its thigh looked like a triangle. We can simply draw some muscles on its thigh like this. On the side of its thigh, there was a very broad muscle. In front of it, there were two sets of muscles, and the second set formed a small triangle. At the back of its thigh, there was a set of long muscles. Between these two sets of muscles, there was a piece of key muscle, which was also relatively long. It connected all the way to its shank, and terminated here, and helped pull its shank upward. Let's draw its knee forward. Below its knee, there was a bulge of its tibia, so its shank was not a straight line, but a curve. Let's draw the side muscle of its shank, which extended backward to the rear of its ankle. Here, let's draw its joint. There were two sets of muscles surrounding the front and back of the joint. We can simply show them. Next, let's draw the back of its ankle and the instep. The instep consisted of three somewhat long bones. The middle of which was the longest, and the other two ones were shorter. These three bones were called metatarsal bones. The end of which was connected to its toes. The middle toe was the longest and the other two ones were shorter. At the end of its toe, there was a curved and wide claw with a worn end. Under its foot, there were fat and thick pads. Many big scales were on the dorsal side of its toes, as well as on the instep. Let's draw the other leg. On this side, only its shank can be seen, because its thigh is blocked. Here, let's draw its ankle and the instep. Next, let's draw the toes with which it used to walk. The middle toe was the longest and the other two on the sides are shorter. Under its toes, we draw the big pads. Behind the three toes, there was one pad too. Besides, there was the first toe on the inside of its foot, which couldn't be seen from the outside, because it was blocked. But we can see it from the inside. We can draw some big scales on the dorsal side of its toes. Good, like this, we've finished drawing the hind limbs of Sinraptor.